So Texas A&M is a mystery to me because it is not like we got to put out of our minds that they're the number one recruiting class in the country 2 years ago because one, that class was so ridiculously unbalanced from a positional standpoint that it almost doesn't matter. But two, it's dissipated. As Jimbo Fisher's tenure faltered, some of those guys washed out, some of them went somewhere else. That said, there's still some very talented players on this roster, and a healthy Connor Wigman is a very interesting prospect.
I agree. And I think the other piece of that too is Colin Klein coming to call plays. They're going from this old school pro style offense that Jimbo's running, and it's going to be morphed into this modern scoring machine. And you have to hope, if you're an Aggie fan, that Colin Klein can work his magic with Connor Wegman like he sort of showed you with the guy at K-State and Avery Johnson a little bit. And you sort of say, hey, man, this is an athletic guy taking snaps for us. He can make defenders miss in a phone booth. He can be a power runner. He's a guy that has the arm talent to make every throw at the college level. And does Colin Klein get the most out of Connor Wegman? I don't know. But that to me is what's going to decide if this Texas A&M team can really hang in this new looking SEC, or if they're going to go back to being little brother to Texas and Oklahoma.
I've got their ceiling probably a little high.
Okay.
But if everything breaks the right way, and I also am accounting for what I saw when Elko took over at Duke, which was a team that played very much above its station in life.
Yes.
And so 10-2 and getting into the CFP.
I don't hate that, Andy.
You have to beat Notre Dame to do that. Like, you have to beat Notre Dame. You could probably lose to Texas, but you got to beat Notre Dame and probably beat LSU to make
Notre
that
Dame,
happen.
by the way, they get to face their old boy and Riley Leonard with that staff.
Exactly. The storylines just write themselves. It's incredible. But the floor for A&M, because again, we don't know what this floor's 5-7.
Yeah, I agree. And it's funny. I mean, I talked to some of my guys. I worked with Mike Elko at Texas A&M. I talked to some of my guys in the personnel team over there. And to your point at the top of this, Andy, they mentioned just how beaten this roster really was, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They brought in 15 transfers on the defensive side alone. Guys like Will Lee and DeRicky Wright are going to help shore up the secondary. They brought in Scooby Williams and Solomon DeShields to help replace the loss of Edrin Cooper at linebacker. But most importantly, they brought back a guy that they believe is going to be the captain of this defense, and College Station native Nick Scourton from Purdue, who's arguably one of the top defensive player in the country, regardless of position.
Probably should have been in the 22 class. Might have actually been the best. Like, if you put him in the 2022 class, he might have been the best D lineman in it.
Absolutely. Right. And, this is a completely different defense for Texas A&M under Mike Elko. It's just a matter of getting everyone on the same page in a hurry. And I think Elko's shown that, to your point. When he got to Duke, they turned that team around and turned them into a real player in that conference. And I think, there's no reason not to think he can't do that at Texas A&M in year one.
Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples On 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On 3 Sports YouTube channel.